Welcome to Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we are musing today on chapter 25 of A Game of Thrones, reading A Game of Thrones for the first time. And this is a Ned chapter, or as they call it, Eddard, or Eddard. Actually, I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce his real name because I just know him as Ned, or on other days as Boromir. Well, I am going to be looking once again today at a wiki of Ice of Fire. A wiki of Ice of Fire. Here is the link. Here is the link. And if you should so wish to check it out, I will also be putting it in the description to this video, into the description of this video. We are back with Ned. We are back with Ned. What's going on? He is hanging out with General Veers, aka Grandmaster Pycelle. Grandmaster Pycelle. Here is the lovely, lovely summary. Ned meets with Grandmaster Pycelle in the stifling heat that has covered the city. Once again, I am very, very grateful for air conditioning. Thank you very much, air conditioning. This chapter really brought it home. I really almost wanted some iced milk, what they kept talking about, even though iced milk sounds horrible. Okay. Pycelle talks about the small folk claim that the last year of summer is the hottest. We've got some foreshadowing. The Grand Maester goes on to say that he does not believe this, noting that the king, whatever his last name is, summer was even hotter and broke in the 7th year, leading to a short autumn and a terrible long winter. Then Pycelle digresses about being a young man, forming his Maester's chain during the reign of King Maker the First. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. Finally, Pycelle remembers that Ned asked about Jon Arryn and explains that Lord Arryn was melancholy but healthy, then suddenly became ill. Became ill. Here's another clue. He asked Ned asked Pycelle about a book, and Pycelle remembers, noting that something was troubling him. The next day, Lord Arryn was twisted over in pain, unable to get out of bed. What a coincidence. Ned mentions that he has heard that Pycelle sent away Lord Arryn's Maester. Pycelle states that this was because he felt Grand Maester Coleman didn't understand the older body and was endangering Lord Arryn's life with purging potions. Yes, we do not believe in purging at Miss Martin Muses. And I really hope I'm pronouncing this dude's name right, Pycelle. If I'm saying it wrong, mea maxima culpa. Continuing, Ned asked if Lord Arryn had any final words. Dun, dun, dun. Pycelle responds that Jon Arryn called out the name Robert several times, but does not know if he was talking about the king or his son. His last words were whispered to Lysa Arryn and King Robert. The seed is strong. Well, yes, apparently it is, because the dude has bastards all over the place. Okay. Next, Ned asks if there is anything unnatural about the death, and follows up by asking if Pycelle had seen anything like this illness before. Pycelle states that he has seen more of illness than he would like to remember, and that every illness is different and yet alike. Eventually, Pycelle says that Jon Arryn's death was no stranger than any other. When Ned mentions that Lysa thinks otherwise, Pycelle says that grief can derange minds. And Lysa's mind was not the best before, seeing enemies in every corner. When Ned suggests that Jon Arryn could have been poisoned, the Grand Maester rebuffs him, asking who would do such a thing. Ned replies that he had heard poison is a woman's weapon. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, precious. Continuing, Pycelle replies that poison is a preferred weapon of women, cravens and eunuchs. I was planting that seed. He continues by telling Ned that Varys was born a slave in life, and that Ned shouldn't trust him. Man, these are all just a bunch of backstabbers, aren't they, in this book? Bunch of backstabbers. How dare you? How dare you, Julian Glover, a.k.a. General Veers. Ned scarcely needs reminding, as he has already had a bad feeling about Varys. Ned excuses himself, but the Grand Maester halts him to offer any other service Ned may require. Ned uses the opportunity to ask for the book Jon Arryn asked for. You see, this is one of those things that seems like it's not a big deal. It seems like it's not a big deal, But yes, it is. Yes, it is precious, as we learn later. Pycelle says it is a ponderous tome of lineages that Ned would find boring. Ned insists he would like to see the book in any case, and Pycelle promises to send it to him once he finds it. On the way out, Ned also learns that Queen Cersei was not in King's Landing when Jon Arryn died. So taking away the suspicion from her. This is kind of a murder mystery, isn't it? Pycelle's parting words are, "I am here to serve," leading Ned to think, yes, but whom? Let us pause a moment to commend Ned's proper use of whom. On his return to the Tower of the Hand, Ned finds Arya on the steps, standing on one foot. This is so cute. When Ned asks what she's doing, she tells him that I'm butchering this dude's name, Pharrell, says that a water dancer can stand on one toe for hours. Ned expresses his concern about her falling down the steps, but Arya states that a water dancer never falls. Then Arya asks if Bran will come to live with them now. Oh, you see, they're so cute. They're just babies at this time. And Ned responds that a friend must grow stronger. Speaking of Bran leads Ned to recall taking the girls to the Castle Goswood to offer their thanks when the news of Bran's recovery arrived. The girls had gone to sleep and dreamed of Ned while Ned stood vigil all night. See, little scenes like this kind of give a bit of solemnity to it and also show just a lot about the characters and what it was like to live in this world. And I must be honest, if I do Thanksgiving, okay, I might go to church, the Eucharistic chapel, but man, I don't know if I'd camp out all night because I'd freeze, and I'm a wimp about that kind of stuff. My idea of camping is a nice hotel with a very warm blanket and a coffee machine. While balancing on her leg, Arya asks about Bran's plans to be a Knight of the Kingsguard. Ned admits that Bran won't become a knight. Well, yeah. Oh, you see, but they're babies. They don't know this. But he may become a lord, a counselor, an architect, an explorer, or even the High Septon, even while privately noting that Ned will never lie with a woman or father a son. Yes, definitely privately. And this is a big deal in this world where heirs, fathering a son, is a big deal. When Arya asks if she can do any of these things, Ned says that she will marry a king and her sons will do these things. Arya replies that is Sansa, not her. Now, that is true to character. However, all this stuff about not wanting to marry a king, wanting to be a queen and stuff, and just sit around and have people wait on you, I don't know what people have against that. That sounds like my dream. That would be excellent. Okay. Later, Ned meets with Littlefinger. Okay, gosh, Littlefinger is so creepy. And so kind of awesome. Littlefinger, who is watching the Kingsguard practicing the Yardborough, starts with small talk about who might win the tourney. This did not interest Ed at all, so he asks Littlefinger to get to the point. You see, Ned's not completely clueless. Ned cannot find it in himself to trust Littlefinger. Littlefinger tells him that 4 of Jon Arryn's household are still in the city, which surprises Ned, who thought that all had gone back to the Eyrie with Lysa. See, Littlefinger knows his stuff. Littlefinger reveals his names, which include Jon Arryn's squire, Sir Hugh of the Vale. He also reveals that Sir Hugh was knighted by the king after Lord Arryn died. Ned states that he will send for them. But Littlefinger does not think this is a good idea and asks Ned to come to the window. Now, I really can't believe that Ned didn't know this, but oh well. Littlefinger identifies some of the spies among those outside his window. One is Varys's, others is the Queen's. He tells Ned there are others, and some even he does not know. He cautions Ned to send a man he trusts completely to question these people rather than doing it himself. Even Varys cannot watch every man in Ned's service every hour of the day. As Littlefinger departs, Ned expresses his gratitude and says he was perhaps wrong to distrust him. Littlefinger fingers his beard and replies that distrusting him is the wisest thing Ned has done since he climbed down off his horse. Isn't that awesome? Great writing. And perhaps my feeling about Littlefinger being creepy is left over from the TV show. Maybe I need to get a more objective view of him now that I'm thinking about it. But this is a really good chapter, especially the whole don't trust him. That's smart of him. In an honorable world, that's not a good thing to be so distrustful. But in this world, it is. When you're playing a Game of Thrones. Reminds me a little bit of every time I try to play chess, I suck at chess. Mainly because the whole goal of chess is to win at any cost through strategy and all that. And that's just not how I play games. I have nothing against it. I think chess is an amazing game. But every time I play chess, even with 6 and 7-year-olds, they kill me. They beat me into next week. I can't play chess. Ned needs to start to learn to play chess a little bit better than me, because I'm not living in this kingdom. If I were living in the kingdom, I would learn how to play chess a little bit better. Or I would become a lady who's married to a king. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, Arya, because there's worse things. There are worse things. Yeah, there's really no analysis here, but I think that's it. So as always, just with a few sentences, we get so much going on. And in hindsight, because this does mirror the TV show, or rather the other way around, the TV show mirrored the book in the first book. That's what everyone has told me. It's helping me to see these things. Maybe when I get to the next books, I won't be able to see things as clearly, though I guess I could cheat, because everyone and their grandmother knows more about the books than I do. So anyway, so that's it for this chapter 25, Eddard 5, reading Game of Thrones for the first time. Have a nice day, morning, evening, afternoon, and be certain, if you are going to play the Game of Thrones, learn how to play chess.